Hello, good afternoon. My name is Luis, and I hope you're having a really nice day. Today, I'm going to talk about how being globally in the part or in the topic of technology, it's a really big impact or important topic to talk about because right now we're having a really huge merge of new technologies in the part of artificial intelligence. For example, the ChatGPT, or there are some AIs that make presentations for you, reports and essays, and it might be doubtful to know that these kind of new technologies are not being used the way they that we need to be using them. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how we, as I'm from Mexico. As Mexicans, we can need to improve our knowledge of artificial intelligence. Like for example, then the means of like Europe that have been using them since 2016, 2017. So why Mexico needs to, for example, needs to expand their global view of these new technologies? It's easy to answer that question, and it's to make new companies, Mexican companies, local companies, or even international companies that are coming into our country, start using these technologies and know how other people in other parts of the world use them or take advantage of them, so they don't or we don't get like bad reputation about they are not expanding their knowledge, they are not encouraging their youth to be more proactive on these new technologies, or even be attached into what other part of the world is using these new things that are actually emerging right now, right? So knowing this, or what other countries are doing in with these new technologies, like China, for example, since their children are using these technologies to improve their knowledge or their learning in their schools. For example, in Europe, that they are using these new technologies to help the environment, for example. And so, knowing these specific topics that other people around the world, other companies, other governments, even so, are using this new era, for example, as we can mention it, can improve ourselves. How can Mexico, or our youth, or even our engineers, or anyone can learn about these new technologies to improve ourselves? And that's mostly the importance of knowing how, or yeah, mainly how the other part of the world, other people are actually approving and taking advantage of this. That's how I view this part of why we need to be more globally. I mean, globalization have been a topic since the early 1900s, but some people really don't think that it's a that have a huge impact, and it have a huge impact. We wouldn't have like these competitive technologies like cell phones if globalization isn't a thing. So I think people have a really not bad view, but a really weird view of globalization, because we are so used to it that it feels that it doesn't affect us. But the part of thinking globally, it's another way through actually having these new opinions, these new views into what and how we can approach these new technologies, and also methodologies of how to use them and expand ourselves even more. So I think that's the most important thing about thinking globally, and being um, aware of how things are changing around the world. So I think that's it. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.